So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by clicking on the PayPal link in the description box, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Also, leave us a thumbs up. It helps us get more views.
Who is Randy Credico?
Randy Credico was a confirming source on July 12th of 2016. Assange said in an interview that he had information on Hillary and he would publish it. I knew that Credico knew Assange, and I asked him whether this was true. A couple of days later, he confirmed that it was. He did not have any comment about the source or the timing or the content of those disclosures. I testified about this under oath to the House Intelligence Committee. Mr. Credico chose to plead the Fifth Amendment.
So he is the only person, when you said you were talking to somebody who had a relationship with Assange, he's the only person you're referring to here?
That is correct, and that's called a confirming source. It was a very narrow question. Look, Assange himself has said all Roger Stone did was to watch his interviews and his tweets and repeat things he had already said publicly. That is entirely true. I actually never claimed otherwise. I did before I wrote a column and got out there in interviews predicting that they really had this mother lode on Hillary Clinton, asked for some confirmation, and it was supplied. It's that narrow.
Going back to this FISA warrant issue, do you believe that one was issued on you, or this is stuff that was scooped up based on targeting of somebody else?
We're going to get to this video in just a second. I just wanted to give you a quick Operation Hal reminder that you can click on the link in the description box below and sign up for our online InfoWarrior training camps. We are now determined to raise up 1,000 YouTube channels just as powerful as Operation Hal. If you're one of those people who wants to have a YouTube channel like Operation Hal that reaches millions of people per month and generates revenue for the information war, click on the link in the description box below and sign up for our free training.
The headline in the New York Times is wiretap data used in probe of Trump aides, and the story goes on to say that 3 individuals were surveilled, myself, Paul Manafort, and Carter Page. The headline changes in the online version of that story, but the Times has never retracted the story. Since that time, I have operated on the assumption that my communications have been viewed. There's nothing there untoward or that concerns me. They're political, but there's no collusion with the Russians. Chuck, I've been accused of being a dirty trickster. There's one trick that's not in my bag. That's treason. I have no knowledge or involvement with Russian collusion. And I don't know anybody else who does.
Let me establish something. You believe, if unbeknownst to you, there is somebody on the Trump campaign that worked with the Russians on these email releases, that would have been that's a treasonous act?
No, actually, I don't think so, because for it to be a treasonous act, Assange would have to be provably a Russian asset, and WikiLeaks would have to be a Russian front, and I do not believe that is the case.
Let me back you up there. You think it's possible WikiLeaks and the Trump campaign coordinated the release?
I didn't say that at all. I have no knowledge of that, and I make no such claim.
No, I understand that, and you don't believe. I understand that, but you just issued that hypothetical. So what you're saying is, had that occurred, you don't believe that's untoward. You don't believe that that's against the law.
This is all based on a premise that WikiLeaks is a Russian front and Assange is a Russian agent. And as I said, I reject that. On the other hand, I have no knowledge that happened. It certainly did not happen in my case. That is not something I was involved in.
Why is Sam Nunberg so afraid of having every one of his emails with you in front of the special counsel?
Well, he was asked about numerous other people besides me. I have no idea. There's nothing in my emails with Sam Nunberg that would prove that anything I said today is inaccurate. But he was also asked to produce emails with Corey Lewandowski, with Hope Hicks, with the candidate himself, Donald Trump. So I don't know what case Mr. Mueller's making. I don't know what he's trying to find out. But I would urge Sam Nunberg to cooperate.
Sam Nunberg, among the things he alleged yesterday, was that Carter Page was colluding with the Russians. Do you concur with that?
Yeah, I saw that. But if you look at all of his interviews at other places, he contradicts that. So I don't know what he is referring to in that regard.
Do you still consider him a protege?
I consider him a friend. He does not work for me, and I do not in any way control his thought process or what he says. He is very much his own man, and he marches to his own drummer. I would certainly not have advised him to ignore a subpoena, and I was delighted to read this morning that he's changed his mind about that.
What happened in the relationship between he and President Trump that it is so bad?
Sam did some things in the campaign that displeased the candidate, and he was terminated. This is actually too bad because he's a very talented writer, researcher, and wordsmith. Beyond that, I can't characterize it. He was at one point rehired, making him the only person who was ever fired by Donald Trump and then fired a second time. But he clearly has some
Omarosa has been fired 4 times, according to the White House.
Well, I mean, within the context of this campaign. Look, I don't know what he refers to when he claimed that they had something on the president. I have no knowledge of that. I don't think that is the case.
Final question. Do you think the Russians attempted to interfere in our presidential election in 2016? Hard stop.
Well, the indictment brought by Mr. Mueller would indicate they did, but it's not clear that they did so with the sole purpose of helping Donald Trump. At various times, they appear to be pro-Trump, pro-Bernie Sanders, anti-Trump, and the bulk of their money appears to have been spent after the election. When you look at the totality of the resources spent in the election, what the Russians did appears to me to have been muddled, ineffective, and a drop in the bucket.
Do you think President Trump should confront?
No connection to the Trump campaign in any way, shape, or form.
But given the fact that even you acknowledge they tried to do something, the president's lack of confronting Vladimir Putin about this issue does lead some people to be circumspect about his motives. Do you think President Trump should confront the Russians more aggressively on this issue?
Look, the president didn't want to go to war over Syria, where Hillary Clinton favored a no-fly zone. And the president is selling offensive weapons to the Ukrainians over the objections of the Russians, so much for the idea that he's in Putin's pocket. When people have thermonuclear weapons, it's probably better to be talking with them and trying to find a way to have peace rather than looking for our next foreign war.
Roger Stone, I'm going to leave it there. Sir, I appreciate you coming on, sticking around, taking all the questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chuck.
Hey everybody! I just wanted to break in real quick for an Operation HAL Info Warrior update. Many of you thousands of Operation HAL subscribers are passionate patriots. We can tell because of the comments that you leave in the comment section. But America needs more than just passionate comments from anonymous subscribers. America needs info warriors who are willing to spread information. Believe it or not, us patriots, we are beginning to win the info war. We are on the march and the enemy is on the run. They never anticipated this explosion of social media. The bad guys who are behind the scenes attempting to destroy our republic, they didn't realize that platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook would give voice to those of us who haven't been fooled by the fake news, Project Mockingbird, CIA-ran media. Patriots like you and me now have a level playing field to take part in the war for the soul of our nation. And the good news is, we don't even have to use guns. We can simply use our home computers and laptops, just like I'm doing right now. In fact, the Operation HAL YouTube channel has reached over 73,000 unique individuals just this month. So if you want to get off of the sideline and onto that playing field, we at Operation HAL want to help. We have helped over 18,000 individuals just like you. Learn how to create and distribute content online. It doesn't matter if you're a novice with computers or a pro. Operation HAL is willing to train you for free in our simple techniques that will allow you to have a voice in our nation.
Hey guys, normally at this point in the video we would tell you to email McKinsey, but unfortunately YouTube is threatening to cancel our Gmail account as well. So if you want to sign up for the free online info warrior training, click on the link in the description box below and you can sign up directly for our next boot camp.